Many historians say the Battle of Vimy Ridge marked the birth of our nation. Today, thousands of Canadians are in northern France for the 95th anniversary of the battle. And while there aren't any surviving Canadian veterans from the First World War, a generation of young Canadians watched the day's events unfold. The CBC's Susan Ormiston joins us by phone from Vimy. So, Susan, I understand the weather wasn't cooperating, but what was it like at the ceremony?
It was wet. I guess the best thing you can say is that students got a real sense of how awful it must have been 95 years ago when it was raining and even snowing, when thousands of Canadian soldiers stormed the ridge and reclaimed it for the Allied forces. It's a wide open grassy plain with a very dramatic monument on a hill. You've probably seen pictures of that. They stood in the pouring rain for about 3 hours for a commemoration ceremony where the Minister of Veteran Affairs and the Governor General both gave speeches. There was some wreath laying. There was a lovely folk song written about Vimy Ridge by a Albertan girl. She played her guitar on the ramparts of the monument, and that was the most stirring moment. That and the last post, of course, played at the end of the ceremony. This was quite an adventure for 5,000 Canadian students who came across to Europe to really get a sense of what war meant in the First World War. They laid small wooden crosses at the graves of Canadian servicemen who died on that very ground, and they went into some of the tunnels used by the Allied forces to get around the German fortifications.
And Susan, what sense did you get from the students who attended the ceremony about what it meant to them?
Yes, a lot of them really couldn't believe that this sacrifice happened. A lot of them spoke of the humility of the event, of how amazing it was that soldiers that were their age, 17, 18, 19, were here walking up these hills 95 years ago. Many people spoke about their courage, their bravery, and I think the Governor General said to me that this was another way of recreating history, bringing this war back, and really it was about all wars. It was about what costs and what sacrifice had to come in order to achieve democracy and keep peace, and this was one of the messages that the students were getting loudly and clearly. Even in spite of really grueling weather today, they seem to really like the experience and be quite touched being here.
Susan, thank you. Susan Ormiston in Vimy, France.